This will be a day long remembered. Hey everyone, Jeremy here. Today I'm about to watch the finale of Season 1 for Andor. Before I get into it though, please remember to hit that like and subscribe. It is a very small and kind gesture you do to help out the channel in a very big way. So I appreciate it each and every time. Alright, getting into the finale. Oh my, I'm both in disbelief that we're at the finale, and I'm also sitting here going, no, this feels like it's gone on for so long, because it felt like we've had natural breaks a couple of times. Like Cassian got away from Ferrix, that seemed a natural break, and it is the way the story was structured. And also then once the heist happened, that was a natural break, and now there's been somewhat of a natural break with the prison break. To a degree, I feel like actually the one place where it hasn't felt as broken up, and again, that is a structural choice on their part, and I love it. But this last half of the season has felt much more like a full half of the season. Like from episode, what would that be, 7 forward, it's all felt like one continuing story to me. Unlike the first two, which felt like related, very related stories, but they were, the story themselves was broken up. That was about the corporate coming after Cassian. The next one was about the heist. But everything since then has been about Cassian in prison and the ramifications of that, which is what we're feeling now. Now we're seeing a changed Cassian, I think. While Cassian may feel like an outsider, I think he's going to take all that anger he's always had towards what happened to him as a child and aim that squarely at the Empire, because he now sees how cruel they are and how much they've taken from him. Oh boy, this week's going to be exciting. And for my Patreon viewers, I may have a delivery show up, so I may have to pause this and come back to it if it does during this. Okay, this feels way more ominous today. What are they putting together?
It was a very short conversation. He asked about the funeral. Let's walk.
Oh boy. Wait, was that one guy that was watching them, the guy Cassian owed money? They're all gonna collide here. Cinta's made it her mission to watch them now that Marva's gone. What is this? Are you making a bomb? This has got to be a bomb.
I can't stop thinking about this whole Marva situation.
Want another?
Maybe just one.
He's gonna sell him out. He's playing him. He wants the information so he can sell it. Yep. Douche.
I thought you left without me.
Cross my mind.
Huh?
I look for you, but
I'm sure. Cloris, we'd like privacy, please.
where would I get the money?
That's the question that scares me the most.
Someone's lying to you.
Brilliant.
On that we can agree.
Brilliant. Oh my God, that is brilliant. She came up with an excuse for the money.
You're here.
She's going to see Bex.
Just keeping an eye on the place till we sell it.
Sell it? Where's Biggs?
He doesn't
Where
know.
is she? Cass.
There will be times when the struggle seems impossible. I know this already. Alone, unsure, freedom is a pure idea. It occurs spontaneously and without instruction. Random acts of insurrection are occurring. Remember that the frontier of the rebellion is everywhere, and even the smallest act of insurrection pushes our lines forward. Remember this. Try.
Been waiting for him to read that.
We've loosened air traffic, as you requested.
How many attacked?
They're still counting the bodies. It's over. They walked right into it. It was over before they started.
Prisoners. Not today.
Oh man, and I figured we wouldn't even see that battle, and it obviously was just a slaughter. It was exactly what they were hoping for. It was over as soon as it started. Oh, okay, that warms my
I
heart.
wanted her to live with me. I know. Tell him none of this is his fault. It was already burning. He's just the first spark of the fire. When the day comes that those two pull together, he will be an unstoppable force for good. Tell him I love him more than anything he could ever do wrong.
Oh my God.
You can't just leave her there. You're gonna take on a full garrison.
Tuh.
You take care of yourself. It's too late for that.
I love Cassian on a mission.
Forget that. Get up to the hotel. I'll have a look around.
What's going on?
Oh, that ringing. But you approved it, so what's going on?
Time! Hold up! Let's move!
Yeah, they changed the parade route and the time to throw them off.
Double the reward. You found him? I want twice as much and a ride out of here when it's over. Where is he? Pretend you're arresting me. Hey! What do you think you're doing? Hey, move it!
Man, that was immediate too. That was immediate. Pretend you're arresting me. Didn't even question it. I'm really afraid for a lot of characters right now.
So, she's here. It's her.
His other obsession. Yeah, this was supposed to be 40 people. It's the entire population. Stone and sky.
Feel as if I can see you.
Uh-oh.
I remember every time it happened, every time the dead lifted me with their truth.
Yeah. You hear that?
Now I'm dead. We had each other and they left us alone. We kept the trade lanes open and they left us alone. Because we had each other. We had Ferrix. There is a darkness reaching like rust into everything around us. We let it grow and now it's here. The Empire is a disease that thrives in darkness. It is never more alive than when we sleep. If I could do it again, I'd wake up early and be fighting these bastards. Fight the Empire!
Oh, you hit me. It's over. He hit her with Marva Stone. She's in the fight. Oh! No hesitation.
I dreamt you came back.
Pigs.
You climbed over a wall. I was here.
angry. Come on.
Don't get angry.
Oh, thanks. Cyril, you. Oh! Heck yeah. That couldn't have gone better. Or worse, depending on your point of view. Alright guys, unless you're armed, get out of there. At this point. Ah! Dang it!
What are you doing here?
There it is. There it is. Waiting for that. Oh, they're rescuing B. Oh, he's dead. Got his reward. Oh! Oh, Cyril's gonna come in and save her. Not a good day to be ISB. Cyril's gonna freaking... Yep.
You! I should say thank you.
Oh no, this is gonna be a thing, isn't it? Why not? Ugh.
It's got a few kinks. But it's a good old ship.
I'd have more confidence if you were coming.
It flies.
Gosh.
Cassian.
Get it going!
Sir. Stay low all the way to Farside Sea. The moment you get over the water, you climb.
You're not coming.
Not the baby.
I never got to see you.
I'm counting on you.
You always say that.
And you always come through. Get them out of here!
Cassian will find us.
I will.
Oh boy. Cassian's gonna be waiting in his ship because he remembers where he parked it the last time.
Prepare for evac. Full stealth. You came here to kill me, didn't you?
You don't make it easy.
Kill me.
Oh.
Or take me in.
He really meant that kill me. Those pieces they were building. Everybody theorized. Okay, maybe it's not what I was thinking it was going to be. It is. I legitimately don't know what they could have done to make that better for me. I am literally thinking, what else could they have done? What could they have pulled out of their hat to make that episode better? I have no answer for that. I have nothing. That episode was freaking excellent. I loved every single thing about it. Even the fact that we had that very cringy scene with Cyril and Daedra, which it's only cringy in the fact that, you know, he's kind of stalking her. I'm just wondering where we're going to pick up next year, you know? Like, are they a thing now? Are they going to be a thing? I have this really twisted feeling they're going to be a thing. And, you know, it just makes sense for those two because they are both very broken people. I figured this series was going to end just by the trajectory it was going. I figured this series was going to end with Cassian becoming a rebel. Like, he was going to join up with Luthen. I had actually expected them to recruit him at the end. So I appreciate the fact that he kind of recruited himself. And that was a really heartbreaking moment, by the way. Because that was a man who lost everything. That was a man who, he had one thing left. And that was to make the Empire pay. And I knew as he was saying his goodbyes to B and the others, I will find you. He had to tell them that so they'd go. But he knows that that life's over for him, and the best thing for them is for him to stay away because he is going to be a danger to all of them. Just like he was to Bix. As much as that hurts, I get why he's doing it. I'm not going to say whether I agree or disagree. I'm going to have to sleep on that one. But yeah, I understand it. And I kind of figured that's what he was doing in the moment. And he was trusting B to take care of them. And we got Chekhov's manifesto finally paid off. We'd all wondered when he was going to read that manifesto. My guess, from the way he was listening to it there in that scene, I don't think that was the first time he'd listened to it. I think he'd listened to it and not really absorbed it, you know, kind of. You know, it was playing. He was listening to it almost out of curiosity, out of respect, probably listened to some bits and pieces here and there, or read. I feel like that was him going back to a certain section that may have started to speak to him previously. Like he remembered a certain section and went back to it. And that was him absorbing what it said this time. And maybe not. Maybe that was the first time he'd heard it. But in that moment, he definitely absorbed it. But I'd like to think that this wasn't the first time he'd listened to it. That he had listened to it before, but this was the time it spoke to him. Oh, and this was very much a different Cassian, too. This was a very different Cassian from what we had seen in prior episodes. This was, or I guess, going back to the beginning to this Cassian, that was a different person. That was a very, very changed person by the events of this entire season. He was seeing things differently. He was seeing things so differently the entire time. You could see it in his face. You could see it in his actions. That one guy that he knocked down and shot, he didn't hesitate. Even at the beginning, think back to the first episode when he had those guards. He hesitated after he killed the guy. After he accidentally killed the first guard, he hesitated. He did not hesitate whatsoever this time. And that's just a small example. Other things, even just his awareness of situations, like when he was in the, whatever that was, cubby hole, whatever you want to call it, and he was watching the street, he actually noticed that things were changing. Something had shifted and he didn't quite like it. So he got out of there. And granted, I think he was going to make his way over to the hotel. I think it was a hotel. He was going to make his way over there to begin with, but there was something about, no, I need to go now because there's something I'm not liking. And he jetted. That's awesome because he was following his instincts. That is something different from the Cassian at the beginning too. That is an instinct that has been honed over the course of this season. And not just, I mean, granted, he's had those instincts before, but that's the purpose of the word honed. They were not as sharp They were not so finely tuned as they are now. Now he's always had that instinct. In fact, he's always been built for what he's about to become. This kind of ultimate rebel in a sense. He's always been built that way, but none of it had ever been refined. And a lot of this season was seeing those senses, those abilities, those skills all being refined. Okay, and you want to talk about a series that has some of the best damn Star Wars speeches ever committed to film? This show, Marva's speech. I was freaking overwhelmed. I was absolutely overwhelmed. I did not expect her to just sit there and outright say rebel. I mean, I expected her to say it, but not like that. Not like give this fiery, impassioned, you rebel right now, fight right now, that type of speech. I was expecting, you gotta wake up. You can't just sit there. But no, she went all fiery on us. She became fiery Marva, and I loved it. She was there, and I love that Brasso had her brick, which is her, and hit that, it wasn't a stormtrooper, but that Imperial. They just clocked that Imperial with Marva, so she was in the fight. That is brilliant. And I love it. Oh, and lest we forget about Mon figuring out her money troubles. Let's go into the good first before we get into the fact that she used the plant to give herself an alibi for why the money was missing. She gave herself the alibi, and I love that it was her husband. She used Perrin as her alibi, that he was gambling again and all that money disappeared. And that guy ran right to the ISB, told the one guy, oh yeah, that he's been taking money from her. Oh, well, that explains her banking transactions. Mon knew exactly what she was doing, and I absolutely love it. That was a great scene. She played it perfectly. And Perrin, being Perrin, had no idea what she was talking about. I loved it. And then we get to the daughter. I feel so bad for Mon. Actually, I don't feel that bad for the daughter because I'm realizing what they were talking about last week. I think it was last week or the week before when they were talking about how the daughter is into the old ways. I think the way the daughter was holding herself and everything, I think that's a part of the old ways she likes. I think she likes the arranged marriages. She likes all that traditional stuff. She's really into that. So I don't think it took any convincing on Mon's part to get her to agree to this meeting, which is basically an arranged marriage. But on one hand, I don't think she had to encourage her at all. So that's good. Kind of. But also Mon knows the family that she is being brought into. She would rather her daughter marry for love, it appears, because Mon's marriage. Hello. So I've got to think this is destroying Mon, and it showed on her face. Can they get out of those arranged marriages? I don't know, and I kind of doubt they will, but at least, yeah, there's no at least. I'm actually struggling to find the upside here. I'm kind of like, well, at least Mon won't go to jail or get found out or executed. But sacrificing her daughter's happiness to do so and keeping the rebel alliance, or I should say just rebels at this point, the rebellion alive for the sake of her daughter's happiness. But, again, the daughter, I kind of think's probably into it, which is even sadder in a sense because Mon knows that tradition isn't what it's cracked up to be. But now we're on to season 2. Season 2, which as I'm recording this, may have just started filming. I know it's starting soon, which means we're probably not going to see it till 2024, which is a shame. Oh my goodness. Because here we are talking about a series that I had no interest in whatsoever. Well, not whatsoever. I had no interest in Cassian, really. I've beaten this dead horse, but I always thought he was the least interesting character in Rogue One. Out of all the characters you were going to pick to do a show about, he wasn't really the one I would have picked. And now you've made what is arguably one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars content, and I cannot believe it. I simply cannot believe it. And now I'm dying for this season 2, especially since they're saying season 2 will take place over years. This was over the course of a year of Cassian's life. Now we're going to be going over the other years that lead up to A New Hope, to Rogue One, actually. So now each pocket of stories, I think they said it's going to be like 2 or 3 episodes, are going to be their own story and take place in a different year. The things we could see next year, especially since we're going to get full-blown Rebel Cassian. We're getting full-blown secret agent, clandestine for the rebellion Cassian. Oh my goodness. That is going to be insane, and I cannot wait. My only prediction for the next season so far is I do have to think that I think we'll get K2 early, but not as early as what people want. I figure we're going to get K2 not in the first story arc, but maybe the second story arc. Let's say it's 12 episodes like this year was. So my guess would be the 3 through 6, we might get K2. But I'll be happy to be wrong if it is the first 3. That's okay too, but K2. Okay, too. Next season is probably where we'll see some familiar faces. I could see Bail Organa showing up next season. I could see, we're definitely going to see Saw again. I'm certain of that. But more curiously, I'm wondering what's going to happen to Vel and Luthen. I don't figure either of them have long to live. Like Luthen already said, he is not going to see that new dawn, see the end of the rebellion. So I figure that he is going to pass at some point during the season, and that is when the reins kind of get handed over to Cassian to fill, not necessarily his role, but I think he's going to end up filling Vel's role, who she seems to be the go-to for Luthen right now. I figure Cassian's going to become that for somebody else, probably the commander he had in Rogue One. Yeah, so I guess essentially my theory for next year is that everybody dies. Including Cassian, but we just don't see it in the season. That's in Rogue One. Alright, what did you think of this episode? Leave your comments below. Did it meet your expectations? Were you moved by Marva's speech? Were you hoping that B would go with Cassian? I so was. Whatever your thoughts, leave them in the comments below. As I mentioned before, remember to hit that like and subscribe. And before I go, as always, please take care of yourselves and please take care of each other. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.